Hi, it's me again. Today's been another day. Hate crime still going on, being stalked. I was in Dollar General, Louisville. Today is November 28th, 21, at 1:59 p.m. I clock out. Now, they tape an audio in every store. In the aisle. Um, yeah. I'm back by where the dollar aisle is with the food. And there's a kid walking around the other aisle. I seen that tape from before some of the things they did to her. It was really sick. I told Will he needs to come help her. He said they taped her before and he's not interested in helping her. And I told him that he needs to. Okay? He said, well, I seen what they did to her. Some kid. And it's really sick what they did to her before. Well, they were amnesia drugging me, I guess. I don't know. They drugged me. I was throwing up all the time, getting dizzy. And then there's witnesses, I told you, where they're at, of them knowing Dave did it and the church people. And more into. I gotta walk out of Dollar General. Some girls walk in. The attorney got more evidence against her on other things. No. You can't run around stalking someone. It's not admissible then. You're doing it in intent to commit extortion. And they're trying to help them get away with attempted murder. I was so angry. I drove up to Ravenna. Now my car's bugged, okay? I sat outside of the courthouse. And I said, look, my state representative's up here. I came up to talk to Abigail Watkins, a Portage County prosecutor. The state representative came in, said I'm here for Karen around the house. And he said he was talking to the lady officers and they walked off with an inch file. Well, I go to walk out and a lady officer follows me out, run around telling everyone, you know what happened to you, hold the FBI accountable. People got away with way too much. Okay? I sit in my car and I talk. If I go in the courthouse, guys behind the podium, I'll repeat back what I said in my vehicle and we'll have the boys look into it. Okay? Well, I went up there and I played my tapes about being drugged before and that I know it's Judge Pete. And we're the evidence of who's saying it's Judge Pete and his wife and that it's his daughter, Michelle. I said, by law, no court order can come out of this courthouse because it is conflict of interest for personal gain. It's a 10-year sentence and $1 million fine. Okay? Friends and family, they have to excuse themselves from everything or they go to jail and it's not admissible. I told them I'm sitting outside. Now the police are driving by. I could even hear from the Portage County Sheriff's my voice echo from the cars. And so that it's supposed to be some kind of attorney that set up tiny cameras stalking me in my home. That they got a court order. I said, there's no such thing. I Googled it. I said, I even talked to the prosecutor. And plus on Google, attorneys only can tape you out in public. They're not allowed to set up tiny cameras in your home and watch you and not be police and hire in a significant investigation with a significant probable cause. They can't tape in bedrooms, bathrooms, and no nudes. Even the FBI can't. Okay? So I play the two witnesses I have that I was drugged before and hearing of it. I tell them about all the different people that know I was drugged before, including my Dave. That's why it's throwing up every time we touch my drinks. Okay. There is a guy that looks like Henry Moffey from the internet, from Instagram, and from Facebook. He had Instagrammed me that he thought I was beautiful when this first started. I thought it was Dave goofing on me, but then that guy that looks like him showed up. He was in Diamond, Ohio. He was in Bedford. He was in Canton, several places. Okay? And when I was sitting outside the courthouse, he drove by. Okay? I don't know who he is. All right. Going forward. Well, then I'm going on about how no court order can come from this courthouse because of Michelle and Memorial Day weekend 2019 food counter in Walmart. They already pulled the tape. It's Judge Pete's wife, and it's supposed to be Michelle's mother, Auntie Shell. For the house wasn't meant for Grandma. It was meant for Auntie Shell and Papa. And Grandma needs to get out. And that they did all this for her daughter. Okay? Young blonde girl. I said there's supposed to be a Lauren, a big boot girl, heavy set, her mean parents trying to steal everything I have in life, and a black-haired girl with dark eyes, real pretty. I said because friends and family being connected to this courthouse, they would have to excuse themselves from anything connected to go against me. And it would have to be the police and hire with significant cost to be there. Okay? And that it can't be an attorney friend. Or Steve or Eric. Okay? Or it's thrown out because it's conflict of interest and abuse of power. And people were driving by, and some of the guys' trucks that used to watch me are driving by. I said, my state representative that showed up at Abigail Watkins, when I talked to her, I'm for here carrying around the house. She walks off with the lady officers. She walked me out, running around telling everyone, hold the FBI accountable. People got away with way too much. Go make a report at the Portage County Sheriff's. Okay? Yeah. So I told them, I said, I can even tell you where they're saying it's Judge Pete. And I started going on. I said, you need to tell him to knock it off. It's a 10-year sentence and $1 million fine. And I said, he's going to end up bringing your whole courthouse down. And I said, and nothing's admissible. I said, and I talked about the toxic water. I said, there's several where they were stalking me in my home. I guess I wiped some water off in my own damn house. Just nobody even thought anything of it. And just wiped it off. Running. My own damn home. And I said, then they were talking about putting two clips together and putting me in a horn. I said, so then this African-American lady showed up and was trying to say I exposed myself, and they had a tape of it, the two clips together in a horn. Some other guy said, did you expose yourself? You started being weird. But I'm like, no, I didn't. I just wiped off some water with clothes on. Like they said at Mercy Medical. Only thing they had on you was adjusting yourself. It's not even admissible. Not one thing before the FBI. They go to jail for stalking. Okay? And they're going to go to jail for drugs and kidnapping. Well, I played my tape of Taping Dave, where Melissa was going to lie. Now, the police and hire caught the kids stating they were lying Thanksgiving of 18 to Flora, that they're flat out lying. Okay? They know it. It's fucking shit my family should be ashamed of me and jokes. Okay? They already know. The whole nation knows they sold the login before Christmas of 18. Okay? And so I start playing on my tapes of people witnessing that they knew I was drugged before and told to say weirdo stuff. Okay? So then I told him where the African American lady's been playing with those videos trying to extort money. And I said, Judge Pete is in it trying to extort money too. I said, you need to tell him to knock it off. He's going to get you all in trouble. I said, because not one quarter in my life can ever, you guys going against me, can ever go against me. Because it's your friends and family. You can't write a quarter. It's thrown out. And it has to be the police doing it, not a Steve, Eric, or Mama's attorney friend. The law states attorneys have to do it out in public. I told you, the Massillon police already said something. They're looking for that Steve and Eric. They find out who they are for stalking me. Okay? Well, the sheriff had drove by, and I could hear my voice echo from his car, and then the other guys that work in the courthouse were driving by. I said, somebody needs to get a hold of my state rep. He gave him the file. He should have his name. I said I was busy talking to Abigail when he talked to the lady officers. See, being an informant, I have state and federal representatives. Now, there's another agency here. They already told my church. They knew I was drugged, and they said it in Belden Village. Okay? And the girls come up by me, by Dick's. I feel bad about everything, said the agency, and said they know I was drugged before. Well, I thought they said they taped her before. Doesn't count. They drugged her and told her to say. I feel bad about being mean to her. And they know it, and they even corrupted that doctor that did her facelift not to do it right on purpose. Corruption of a doctor is 20 years. Okay? The neurochip is 20. U.S. Supreme Court 18-10134, 2005, 11th Circuit. U.S. government recognizes synthetic electronic telepathic illegal war weapons used by other governments for the truth, mind-controlling chips to silence whistleblowers, used by perpetrators as a heinous crime of assault. It's against all basic human rights and all human dignity. Okay? They put the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And it covers electronic brain links and remote neuromonitoring. 12/21/18, stabbed in the neck of the refrigerator. Woke up 6 hours later. I got a big dent in the back of my skull. It comes, and my hair was missing, and another man's comes on the dresser. And Dave's accusing me of having an affair. I had no idea. I had marks on me. They show up at Walmart by the TVs on 62. We implanted a neurochip. We all can read your thoughts. I thought, you're lying. I had migraines for 8 months. But they passed out the neurochip login to dehumanize me. And they already knew I was innocent. Well, Muslim women started showing up and following me. People said I came from another country, and then a mob lord was taking care of me. Why would they care about me? I'm old and ugly. I think it's a chip. It's priceless. It's not funny. People have been yelling that I only have till Christmas. Kill me for a judge's daughter. Oh, I said that outside the courthouse. People for the prosecutor's office. They protected me up there. They know I'm innocent of everything. They pulled it, started going in the building. I started playing my tapes of being drugged before. Started reading off all the places that they knew I was drugged, amnesia drugged. And then where I was beat, raped, tortured, agent stalker involved. Yeah, people were pulling it. See, it's not funny. I tried to get that Asian lady out that said her husband died. And I told him how everything that happened to lead up to calling the FBI. including that agent telling Pamela the night before. I called Will back. Looks just like Judge Timothy. Black hair, dark eyes, black glasses. 5'9", 5'10", he's sitting down, 165, 40-ish. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. And he screamed at Dave as I walked off, and I hadn't even called Will back. I was so upset. I told you this story. Dave had helped me. I had went for a job at Advanced America. They were going to hire me as an assistant. And on the way up there, the district manager said, I don't want you to go Darrow Road. I'd rather you go to Streetsboro. So I pull over. I'm new to the area. I put directions in there. Okay. And I go to that interview. I'm calling my mom. I'm sitting at the end of my driveway. There is no cameras at the end of my driveway. They go to the side yard. We only have cameras outside my house for security cameras. By the back yard and the front deck and the side yard. It doesn't go to the end of the driveway. So I'm sitting at the end of the driveway. It's raining real hard, finishing talking to my mom. Okay. Dave calls in. Why won't you go in the house? Or are you home? Why won't you go in the house? And I said, you home? He's like, no. Why won't you go in the house? I said, where are you at? I'm at work. I said, Dave, that's not funny. I don't have anything to track me in my phone. Not a thing. I know what apps are in there. I'm like, Dave, that's not funny. Why won't you go in the house? You're at the end of the driveway. I said, Dave, that's not funny. There's no one around. And about that time, the district manager calls in. What's your problem? I said, what do you mean, what's my problem? You are mean to Pam. I said, who's Pam? I said, I met this other lady who sent me to another store. She's screaming at me till I hang up on her. Well, I tell my mom, and she's like, Karen, he's up to something. I said, I know. So the next day I get dressed up real nice. I don't tell him. Put it in my GPS, and I go up to Darrow Road, Advanced America. The district manager is sitting there with assistant manager Nan. Well, you know Karen. He said, I never met this woman before in my life. I looked at him and smiled. I said, he sent me to the other store. I've never been here. I said, by the way, I'm Karen. I shake his hand. She looks at him and said, but what you said? I said, I know what I said, but it was not this woman. Okay? I said, I've never been here. She takes me outside, offers me my job back, and I tell her it's too weird. I'll have to think about it. She even offers to let me step down and work in Akron. I'm like, I got to think about it. Okay? That's like September 18th of 18. And I'll have to look up the date for when I opened my checking account at Huntington Bank. It used to be in Giant Eagle. Dave, before that, Dave had, where I think Dave's got a baby mama, because what do you do with $5,000 to $6,000 disappears from a safe? Now I got this woman pretending to be me. So Terry said, because I thought he paid off a pregnancy and he cheated, I'm going to get rid of him. My one old ex-friend, yeah, she said she got paid to watch $10 an hour to watch this kid in her tiny apartment. She's asked me on the counter. So she's like, she's here, and you could hear knocking. I gotta go. And I thought, I'm gonna catch him. I get, and she had me on speaker. She thought I hung up. She still doesn't know I know. Guess who I was on the phone with? You're kidding. I almost tricked her into coming down to prayer where those two men would show up and take care of her. You know they pay people to know where she's at. I could have used some money. I actually told her I'd step in for a prayer, as if I couldn't believe it came out of my own mouth. The other girl's like, well, it's bad as Kaylee. Okay? She used another minister. Okay? Because he said Keith charged too much money. Well, you know who's in that meeting? It was Keith Bishop, Stranger, and Ron, and they took up 25 grand to have her murdered because she got well the year his kid died. And he wants her dead. And I'm like, and I remember Strange told everybody I wasn't sick. And I was. And I had nothing to do with that kid's death. His father-in-law ran a stop sign. I just got well months later. And then Strange told everybody I was faking and sick when I was really sick. And I got documents I was sick. And it has nothing to do with nothing. But he played with it. Okay, so I gasp and I hang up. And then Sarah in the mall, Dave admits to knowing of it, that Katie's leaving threats with her, that they have teach me a lesson I never forget and a permanent plan to do away with me. That's what this all is about, the hate crime. Okay? And that's the fucking shit my family should be ashamed of. Okay? Well, in the middle of the night, Dave holds me down. I love you, but I love her more. I'm so sorry you have to die for her. I hired a man to slit your throat, stab you in the heart. You'll bleed out, Karen. But if you run for it, I got a man to put a bullet in you. 30 minutes. It was no vivid dream. He tried to say it was 30 minutes. He was kissing me, hugging me, and I even turned him on. Okay. I'm freaking out. I went baby girl fetal. Not joking. Baby girl fetal. I took a few days. I went to Giant Eagle. Dave called me, where you at? I'm getting something for dinner. I got a phone call to make. He hangs up. I go to get a flu shot. Okay? This is like September 21st of 18. Around that day. I open up and I'll get back to it. I tell him not to go. Please don't go. He hangs up. Well, I get my groceries. I get a flu shot. I get dizzy. I sit down on the bench. I hear a voice. I can't believe she's here. And I'm like, I go to walk off. He comes up behind me. I'd stab you right here and now if it wasn't for that security guard. And I'm right by Huntington, making a beeline for it. Okay. A blonde lady from Pizza Hut comes up, a waitress. I get paid to watch her. The banker says, lady, stay out of it. And she's bending over so you can't see her face. And he's like, lady, I mean it, stay out of it. It won't be worth it. And she's like, no, I get paid to watch her. And I'm looking at her like she's crazy. And the dark hair guy walks around me. And then she walks off. And I open a $5 account and stall and wait until other people leave. I went home. I went baby girl again. And then realizing the attempted kidnapping's the same guy. And then the attempted carjacking. And then the following reminding tell me to go the certain way. And it was Harold Strange's great niece's Facebook friend. And then the attempted break-in at Perry, where he made a mistake and told the Perry police that they knew where the security system was. And the officer knew he was part of it and screamed at him because they're individually buttons you put on your windows. They wouldn't know where the security system is. Okay? That it wasn't random events, it was really him. It took me a few days. I went down to Walmart. There was an African-American girl. I was pumping gas and I felt water on my face. I look over and she's like this, where she spit on me. And I wipe it off and she walks off and she had legging pants with spots on them. Her and her white boyfriend were making fun of me and harassing me. And the guys must have took care of him inside Walmart because they soon disappeared. Okay, so that idiot comes up to me like a dead animal. What a shame. Okay. And I just freeze. And he walks off. Look at that animal. He has no light in his eyes. I go home, go baby girl. Dave comes up to me. My girlfriend's rich and powerful. Her family owns the police. You won't be able to withstand Karen. I told him it wasn't a communist country. Nobody owned the police. And so I'm thinking, well, if he's got connections. My brother-in-law, Craig M. Davis, was a private consultant for the FBI, unrestricted, did war weapons, and worked under Dick Cheney. The guy said the way he described himself, he was CIA and worked for both agencies. He traveled the world.
So I thought, well, I'll call the FBI on him. Okay. So I did. I called the hotline. I'm crying like crazy. I went baby girl for 2 days. Will had left a message, okay, that to call him back, and I was still crying like crazy, in bed. And the third day after that, I get up, I mow the lawn, trying to get my thoughts together of how to handle this insanity. So I call Sarah, and I said, if I call someone, will you witness that they're threatening me? She's like, yes, Karen, it's really dark. It's scary the way she talks about it. So what I did is I bought her a card because she's getting married. And I put Will's number in it with a gift card. We take it out to Kay's Jewelers. I drop it off and they put it in her locker. We go on to Apostolic Church of Barberton. Paymer gets in, Brother Paymer gets in Dave's face, Paul Paymer. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off. He looks like Judge Timothy. White, 40ish, 5'9". He's sitting down. I say 5'9", 165 pounds, black hair, dark eyes, black glasses. Okay. Okay. Dave and I end up getting in a screaming match on the way home. So, God. The next day, I'm so upset. I finally get enough courage to call Will back, and I'm hyperventilating. I am so freaking scared. It's ridiculous. Okay? And I leave a lot of crap off. He offers me this day. He's talking, I'm talking, and I tell him about Sarah. Okay? And he's like, if you only remain quiet while we investigate, only for you and only for you will we do this for. We'll put it back as if it never happened. We'll pull it back to that traffic. I only have one traffic ticket. We'll pull it back as if it never happened. And we'll wipe it out and put it back as if it never happened. Only for you and only for you will we do this for. And you can't be legally charged for anything ever again. Okay? And when this is over, okay, you can be accused of no wrongdoing, nothing legally stated, dated against you again. And then they did that traffic thing that'll always be pulled back, and only for you will we do this for. You'll have a life of peace, accused of no wrongdoing, nothing legally stated, dated against you again. Okay? So he's saying that, and he's rambling, and I forgot to tell him about that. I was telling on me. They checked. He did. He told on me. So you don't stay quiet. When Dave knows, then the churches know. You don't stay quiet. And if I would have told him, he wouldn't have, that wipes out the staying quiet thing. Okay? Part of the deal. Okay? And then the agents sold the login to the whole nation before Christmas. They come up in Walmart. The agents are selling the login for money. And then they're saying a lot. And then they said it's going for $25 a pop. And then everybody knows. People showed up from Wyoming, California, Washington State, Texas, a gentleman's club from Florida, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, Maryland, and Georgia. And most of the people were good. I had a 2-mile procession around me. Okay, they sold it to old ladies, teenagers, truck drivers, random workers, nursing homes, nurses, doctors, healthcare people, you name it, they got it. Okay, because I'd start going places. Hey, Karen, this. Hey, Karen, that. They even let them tape in the bathroom, the bedroom, nudes. Even me being raped and tortured, trying to help the Asian lady. People have, they call it Karen Around the House series. Did they have my permission? No. Did they share the $25 a pop? No. Do you know it even says in investigations, they cannot tape in bathrooms, bedrooms, and no nudes. It has to be police and higher significant investigation with the big probable cause with no conflict of interest. So, yeah. And even the FBI can't tape in those situations. Yeah. And, yeah, and they went ahead. They're so corrupt. They did that. I've had people admit to seeing me in the bathroom in Ravenna, on my bed in Ravenna. They have admitted to seeing me, Dave sexually assaulting me in my bedroom. They have admitted to seeing the rape and torture who was involved. It's horrifying. Getting dressed in my bedroom. People have that for personal enjoyment. It's our nation disgrace of our legal system. They don't realize if somebody with integrity would actually show up, they'll all go to jail. And they actually threaten me with their crimes. That's where it's amazing. One guy said it's ridiculous. They're the criminals. And they want money out of this? Okay. Yeah, no judge gave him a court order out of that courthouse. They can't ever legally go against me. Because it's Judge Pete's daughter and then those other girls, friends and family. They can't write a court order against me the rest of my life. Or even before, because it would be a 10-year sentence and $1 million fine. Well, I sat outside and told them where they're saying it's Judge Pete and Judge Pete's daughter. And I said, you need to tell him to knock it off. I said, he's going to get you all arrested. I said, yeah, you can't do any of this. The judge can't do it. He'll end up in jail. And I told him about that rogue attorney, those people saying they're running around getting evidence against me for this or that to extort money. I said, you need to find out who it is and take care of it. You need to get a hold of my state rep. They used to hang out in that bar across the street from the courthouse. Abigail Watkins would have their information. Well, yeah, the prosecutor's office started pulling in. Well, I played my tapes of, the church people breaking in before drugging me, tell me say weirdo shit. And then the witnesses of Dave knowing of them that Dave did it to me before. Okay. Some kid in Dollar General today. I seen one of those tapes before. It was really sick what they did to her. They said, I called Will, and Will said he wasn't interested in helping her because they taped her. What part I was drugged and told to say something? Oh, and the altar tapes? If he doesn't want to do his job, then somebody needs to replace him. They don't get money for altering tapes. They don't get money for stalking me in my home. They go to jail if somebody actually wants to do their job right. I was in Stat Care a week ago Monday with my client. A Maslin officer was in there. He said, I'm here to watch her. We found out that Stephen Eric is stalking her, okay? And we found, it's really funny. And it finally became funny. Everything they did to her, we found out it's not admissible. After everything they did to her, it's not admissible. I talked to one of the prosecutors that's a friend. It's not. Not a damn bit. See, there's real laws, state and federal, and they're breaking them like hell. Hear them outside? It's not funny, is it? It's all night long, day and night. They follow me, screaming at me. It's a hate crime on levels you would never believe. Oh, Will knows I'm innocent. I was in Circle, okay? Some little kid, and I've never met Will. Okay? I never met Will. Said, little kid looked at me and said, Will says she's innocent. They all do. They all know. And their fucked up tapes before? Mercy Medical, lady from the agency showed up. No man was ever to touch her.
Nurse comes in laughing. The only thing they have you on is adjusting yourself. They weren't even legally allowed to look at them. I looked it up. It's not admissible. Mama's attorney friend can't stalk you in your home. You should have arrested her. Learn to do your job. Or him. Whoever it is. You put them in jail for the crimes. They're not allowed to. It's a felony. It's stalking. It's stalking. It's freaking stalking. You can't do it. You have a right to privacy. There's brick house laws. 2, they have to take you out in public or it's not admissible. And the nurse at Mercy Medical came and laughed, and the only thing they have you on is adjusting yourself, because I just wiped off water with clothes on. That's all I did. In my own damn house! I didn't expose myself. I'm good. And that's one of the things they said on Friday between April 4th and May 10th this year in Louisville. You didn't expose yourself. You're good. There was a man that died near my new client on Cleveland Avenue in a different apartment building. They said, I seen that tape from before. All she did is wipe some running water off her clothes on. I know I told these people to stop saying stuff to her. That's all she did. Okay? Yeah. Well, yeah, 2 nights ago, I went to go outside. One of the guys said, did she expose herself to the boys? Now, it's the second apartment before mine, second building before mine. Okay? Silver SUV. He's out there screaming it. Okay? Second building before mine. And they said, did she expose herself to the boys? She said no. He said, damn it, we're supposed to clean this up. Okay? And he pulls off. I told you, they're all around. Yeah, I didn't expose myself. So that lady in Save-A-Lot, she exposed her, blah, blah, blah. No, I didn't. That's the 2 clips together put in a porn they were breaking in the spring. She's an extortionist. I told you where to find her. That's why they're taped. Oh, and some guy said, you exposed yourself and started being weird with yourself. I'm like, that never happened. I just wiped off some running water with clothes on in my own damn house. Nobody even thought anybody. You shouldn't even know. It's not even admissible, and it's not wrong with clothes on in your own damn house. Okay. I sat and talked about the torture and everything else. Okay. Some African American guys go across the courthouse, yell out, the king found out. Wow, the king found out what happened. I told you I'd leave this area. They say a king from another country takes care of me. Or a mama. It's a joke. I'm not pretty. My God, if that ass would have done my face right, which I paid for, and if Steve wouldn't have called him, some guy named Steve stalked me. I haven't met him yet. I haven't met Eric. No man, no lady came talk to me. Nobody. I woke up with black and blue marks, and they lied to people. They have sodium pentothal reports, true serum. There's no such thing. It's spy flick movie stuff that if you do false confession, sodium pentothal, you say yes to everything. Falsely confessed down the board. Illegal sodium pentothal, the FDA prohibits any use in humans and not to be brought in the United States. And illegal sodium pentothal, lethal, it's used to put animals down, humans down, and in anthrax. They're not going to use something that they call spy flick movie stuff that's lethal and outlawed. Okay? But I woke up with black and blue marks. I was in Plato's Closet. I sent you the time and stuff. They were laughing at me about the amnesia drug. I'll never remember. It's like them making fun of somebody who's roofied. Okay. Because when I tape Dave, you're good to the kids and grandkids. It'd be pretty rotten if she said anything to you. I almost died to save my family. But yeah, if they want a corrupted carb, do you realize my face would look like this? Look. A facelift is supposed to last 5 to 10 years. And to remove, I just went to Fine Arts and Lasers,
And last week, the plastic surgeon there, Karen, you need a facelift. I just had one last year. He said to get rid of all this extra skin that you have, you would have to have a facelift. I look like this. I look stinking 30. It's the way I'm supposed to look. I paid for it. And I'm still paying on it. Yeah, I look like this. Corruption of a physician is 20 years in jail. There's real laws. And he kept calling, somewhere a guy named Steve was calling Carp and saying, Steve, I know you said they taped her before, I don't care. And he'd come in and be mean to me and then find out he didn't do my face right. They were even talking about it in Belden Village. The girls from my church down by Dick's, we found out she was drugged before and told us to say it. I feel bad about being mean for her. They even found out they corrupted the doctor not to do her face right. If he would have done it right, all the skin would be removed and pulled back. I would look freaking 30. It's the way I'm supposed to look. Yeah, because when I went down to Dr. Hartman's, Karen, you need a facelift to get rid of all this extra skin. I'm the same weight as I was last year. And they said, they were even talking, she had to get filler put in her face because you didn't do it right. And they had him do it on purpose. It's that kind of sick crap. It's a hate crime on ungodly levels. They don't think they can go to jail for anything. Yeah, they even said another agency's here, and they know I was drugged before and told to say whatever it is. I heard it's sick stuff, and they know that they did it. It's a shame nobody wants to do their job down here. If you send somebody with integrity, the chip needs to come out. Because I'll tell you what, they get a hold of this technology, it's priceless to them. I was neurochip 12/21/18 abducted, stabbed in the neck at the refrigerator. There's real cases. The Maslin police will give you the login, if not, Faith Family Church would. St. Mary's. Everybody has it around here. They sold it for $25 a pop. And everybody knows. Hear it? It's not funny. People said they taped the whole case. They know about the neurochip, the beat rape torture, agents breaking in, stabbing me with needles in my sleep, trying to make it look official, lying they had sodium pentothal reports. I may have a septic infract in my heart now. I need someone to look at it, and I don't have insurance, and I don't have insurance to get the chip out. The hospital said if they take the chip out and the swelling, my brain will go back to normal. I have a big dent in my skull. Mercy, Altman Hospital, 313. Someone from the agency showed up and said, we're here for Karen's will. That's what they called the FBI case. The agency chipped her. A bitch looks at me in the face. Okay? The agency wanted to do that. Shut up. They found the kids dating they were lying on Thanksgiving of 18. I didn't get neurochip till 12/21, and it's illegal way, and it's not admissible. You're just part of this. So I go in the back, and they tell Dr. Ellen and Tina, some damn bastard neurochipped her. We already know. There's a CT of it at Mercy Medical. You can see the wires are cracked. Louisville Police looked over at me at another building. She's got a government chip. Can't officer walk by and start reading off my information. I have told you where you can, even where people have even Shine, if you go 10, 11 times back, people playing with the cell phones that read my thoughts. Justice for Victims of Torture and Terrorism Act, you have to compensate me. I turned it into the Inspector General. Like one guy said, it's going to be no damn excuse. Do you realize if somebody gets a hold of the mind reading chip, any kind of agent or officer they have, they could have our nation's secrets? And no more bitch. Okay? Now, I need someone to come pick me up. It's illegal to leave your informant in danger.
And it shows how much incompetency of the people around me were taking care of me or not doing their job and not caring. Because it didn't take another agency a hot moment to realize that I was drugged before. People have come down here. We talked to all her witnesses. None of this is funny. The prosecutor's office, he said, Karen, your story was a little out there. He said, but then you gave me all your notes with your witnesses, and I realized everything happened to you. And I didn't realize how illegal that neurochip is. Some ass went to insult me at Mercy Medical at the radiology department. A lady was standing outside. Look, we all know some ass tripped her. Okay, now someone needs to show up. I've been beat, raped, tortured between July and September 19th because I tried to help that Asian lady because he said her husband got murdered that night. And Dave made a mistake and a big one. They met outside the house for a moment in time and the house picked him up. How they murder those men. Someone needs to rip the gunshot night of what part and see if they really did die. Because like I said, that quarter house could never say a word to me. It's friends and family. They go to jail for 10 years, $1 million fine. They can't even say anything. They could never write a court order because Dave was dating Michelle. Yeah, and everybody's going around saying, it's Judge Pete. And they, even down at Dr. Herman's, fine thing, Laser, we found that idiot woman bragging they did all this for her daughter. Memorial Day weekend, 2019 food counter, Walmart. For it's my daughter her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna when she was having a stomach spell. It's for my daughter they did all this for, and our family down here watching her doing this. And for who's Karen's rich boyfriend but the state of Ohio who protects her? It's Michelle's mother, a white woman with an African-American man at the food counter. And they said that we found that tape of that idiot woman bragging it was for her daughter. Yeah. I'm going to upload this, and I'm going to send it to headquarters. And I'll tell you what. Do you know what inquisitions are? No damn excuse.